Russia is running dry. Across the country, from massive refineries deep inside Russia to supply depots feeding the front lines and occupied Crimea, Ukrainian drones have triggered a nationwide logistics lockdown. Fuel storage tanks explode in massive fireballs. Convoys of tankers burn on highways. Critical refineries are forced to halt operations as fires rage out of control. What Putin thought was a secure rear is now collapsing under a relentless Ukrainian drone campaign that is cutting off the lifeblood of Russia's war machine. Welcome to Military Force. In this extended 22-minute breakdown, we reveal how Ukraine has systematically imposed a logistics lockdown on Russia by targeting its nationwide fuel supply network. From the long-term intelligence preparation to the devastating drone strikes, the growing fuel crisis inside Russia, and the strategic collapse it is causing, we cover every critical detail. Hit that like button right now and subscribe for unfiltered frontline analysis. Ukraine's campaign against Russia's fuel network is one of the most sophisticated and effective asymmetric operations of the entire war. Rather than trying to match Russia tank for tank or shell for shell, Ukraine identified the single greatest vulnerability in the Russian war effort: fuel. Without reliable diesel, jet fuel, and gasoline, modern mechanized warfare grinds to a halt. Tanks become stationary targets. Aircraft stay on the ground. Supply trucks cannot move, and entire fronts risk collapse. The preparation for this nationwide fuel blockade began many months ago. Ukrainian military intelligence, GUR, unmanned systems commands, and engineering teams conducted exhaustive mapping of Russia's entire fuel infrastructure. Using satellite imagery, open-source analysis, signals intelligence, and other sources, they identified the most critical nodes: major oil refineries responsible for producing military-grade fuels, large storage depots, key pipeline junctions, and loading terminals that supply the front lines and occupied territories including Crimea. Engineers rapidly scaled up long-range strike drones capable of reaching targets 700 to 1,000 plus kilometers inside Russia. These systems featured improved inertial and satellite navigation to resist jamming, heavier incendiary warheads specifically designed to ignite fuel storage tanks, decoy drones to overwhelm air defenses, and advanced autonomy for terminal guidance. Domestic production lines, now churning out millions of drones per year, provided the sheer volume needed to sustain a continuous campaign. Operators underwent specialized training for fuel infrastructure strikes. They practiced coordinated swarm tactics, using initial waves of decoys to force Russian air defenses to reveal themselves and expend expensive missiles, followed by precision strike packages targeting the most vulnerable parts of refineries and storage farms. Night operations and poor weather strikes were emphasized to maximize surprise and damage. Deception was constant. Ukraine launched strikes across multiple regions simultaneously, forcing Russian command to spread limited air defense systems thin. Feint attacks on non-fuel targets kept Moscow guessing about the primary objective. Strict operational security prevented leaks about the focused campaign against the fuel network. The execution of this logistics lockdown has been relentless. Over recent weeks, and especially during intense periods of strikes, Ukrainian long-range drones have repeatedly penetrated Russian airspace to hit high-value fuel targets. Massive storage depots have erupted in spectacular secondary explosions that burn for days. Refineries have been forced to shut down processing units after fires spread through tank farms. Convoys transporting fuel to the front lines and to occupied Crimea have been ambushed on highways, creating blazing roadblocks that halt entire supply chains. The impact on Russia's fuel supply is now critical. Several major refineries have reduced output or temporarily halted operations due to damage and safety concerns. Strategic reserves are being drawn down faster than they can be replenished. Military units, particularly in the south and near Crimea, are reporting severe fuel shortages. Armored columns have reduced movement. This fuel crisis is compounding existing problems caused by Western sanctions that limit access to advanced refining chemicals and spare parts. Russia is now facing a dual threat. Russian forces on the ground are rationing movements, while emergency measures have been declared in some areas. The once proud fortress Crimea is slowly being starved of the fuel it needs to function as a military platform. Russia has desperately tried to counter the campaign. They have rushed additional air defense systems to protect key refineries and depots. Electronic warfare has been intensified around fuel infrastructure. Convoys now travel with heavier escorts and attempt night movements. Yet Ukraine continues to adapt faster, refining drone routes, improving swarm tactics, and exploiting new vulnerabilities as they appear. The vast geography of Russia works against Moscow. There are simply too many fuel nodes to protect perfectly. The broader strategic consequences are severe. Fuel shortages directly reduce Russia's combat effectiveness across all fronts. Tanks and armored vehicles cannot maneuver as freely. Artillery units face transport limitations. Air support is curtailed. Every liter of fuel destroyed by Ukrainian drones forces Russia to make difficult choices about where to allocate remaining supplies. Economically, the crisis is rippling outward. Civilian fuel prices are rising. Transport and agricultural sectors are strained. The wartime economy, already under heavy sanctions, is facing new bottlenecks that will be difficult to overcome in the short term. This logistics lockdown also carries a powerful psychological dimension. Russian soldiers on the front lines and civilians inside Russia are beginning to feel the effects of shortages. The image of an unstoppable Russian war machine is cracking as videos of burning fuel depots and grounded aircraft spread. For Putin, the repeated inability to protect critical national infrastructure is becoming a major political and military embarrassment. Ukraine's drone campaign against the fuel network demonstrates the power of focused asymmetric warfare. As fires continue to burn at damaged facilities, Russian emergency teams work under constant threat, and military planners scramble to find solutions. One thing is becoming increasingly clear: Russia is running dry. The logistics lockdown imposed by Ukrainian drones is not just disrupting supplies, it is systematically eroding Russia's ability to sustain its invasion. The war is being decided not only on the front lines but in the fuel tanks, refineries, and supply roads behind them. Through determination, innovation, and precision, Ukraine is winning this critical battle and tightening the noose around Putin's war machine. What do you think will be the long-term impact of Ukraine's fuel campaign? Will Russia be forced to significantly scale back its military operations due to these shortages, or will they find a way to restore supply lines? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more detailed analysis of Ukraine's drone operations, the fuel war, logistics battles, and the latest strategic developments in this conflict, smash the like button, share this video with others, and subscribe to Military Force. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching this full 22-minute breakdown. Stay informed, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next mission analysis.